So good morning. This morning's health talk is going to be all about weight loss in the menopausal and beyond woman. So this also includes the postmenopausal woman, which I actually really think is the lost and forgotten woman. You know, there's 40% of your life you're going to spend in the postmenopausal years. So potentially from 50 to the average age of death for a woman now is around 82. You know, you're going to have many years in this age group. So let's look after our health and fitness. Now, I still get lots of chat and questions about weight loss because I used to be a weight loss coach for a well-known diet and fitness club many years. I did that for 15 years, and over the years I've seen the change of the fads and the diets and all this kind of thing. So this is going to be about weight gain around the middle in the menopause and beyond women. So, and it's my top 10 tips, and these are in order of importance. So as I go through these, you tick off, and in the comments below, if you're watching live, write down, yes, I'm already doing that, okay? Because some of these you're already doing. So I just want you to make sure that you're ticking them off, and then we can work on the ones that you're not doing. And you know, it's not linear. It's not a one size fits all. This is always very variable. And that's why there's 10 tips. So some tips might work for some people and some for not. So my first, number one, and this is the most important tip, okay, is perspective. We need to find a perspective, because let's understand that our body shape is going to change through the decades, and we will not have the same body that we had when we were 20. And likewise, our body doesn't react the same as it did when you were 20. So get some perspective in this. It's very important that you understand that this is what is happening with your body. Things are changing, our hormones are changing. That means the way our body reacts to food and environment and things around it will change. So we are never going to look like we were when we were 20. And there is going to be more body fat into your body anyway through aging. Okay, so let's look at this really clearly now and try and make these goals achievable for you, rather than going, right, I look at this picture of when I was 20, I want to look like this. That is just not going to happen. Okay, there's so many changes happening in your body. You've had we should be grateful that we actually got to this age and we still are fairly healthy and we look well and we've got a great life and we've had that. So get some perspective to start with. I think that's really very important, because I see lots of women who say that they want to look like they did when they were 20. Lots of cosmetic surgery going on. That's quite controversial, but I'm not anti it, but I just feel like let's age gracefully. And part of that is some midsection weight gain, okay? So, you know, you're never going to have a 21-inch waist if you ever did have that. I didn't ever have that, but, you know, you're never going to have that again. It's your body is aging. It's normal. It's natural. So that's my number one tip. And I really want you, if you don't take anything else away, take that. Number two is to nourish your body. So instead of thinking, let's eat less and do more, we want to be thinking eating well. Eating the foods that you do eat are nutritionally nourishing your body and your mind. And we're not going for those. So in the old days when we used to do diet clubs, it used to be all about calorie counting, which is it is actually my next tip. So I'll bring that one in with it. Don't count your calories. Please don't count calories. It's so old school, and calorie counting just doesn't work for us now, because you could count calories for a Mars bar as opposed to having a nice Caesar salad, and the calories could be the same, but your body will not react the same to the Mars bar as it will react to the salad and vegetables and protein that is in the Caesar salad. Okay, so counting calories is out. We want to make sure that we're nourishing the body. So each meal time, you want to be thinking having healthy protein, very important, and healthy amounts of vegetables and salads. And that's it, really. Think about how your grandma used to eat, and we want to come round full circle to that if possible. Throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, which we are the children of, we are those people growing up at that time, we have been introduced to so many processed foods that aren't great for our bodies. And especially now we are postmenopausal, our bodies are getting not less efficient at dealing with the processed rubbish that we put in our bodies. So no counting calories, nourish the body. That's tip 2 and 3. Tip 4, drink water, not alcohol, not fruit juice, not loads of tea and coffee. You can have those other things, but initially drink water. Now, I always say that when I do this talk, if you had a beautiful flower or a plant in your garden, would you think of feeding it alcohol, tea or coffee to make it bloom and look amazing? You wouldn't, would you? Because you'd know that that wouldn't work. So water is the same. It's the same for our bodies. Our bodies are beautiful flowers that want to nourish, and you want to feed it well and give it lots of hydration as well. We're like a hydrangea. We need more hydration than normal because estrogen levels have dropped away, and now we have become a little drier in all areas. All the receptors, estrogen receptors obviously aren't there anymore, or there's a very little going through into the skin. There's lots hydration within the cells. We need fluid for the blood flow. So there's so many times we really need that hydration. Your brain is 80% water. We need to keep that firing up as much as we can. So we've got to feed it with water. So 8 glasses a day is what you need. Quick tip, have one first thing when you get up in the morning, 1 pint, have a pint before you go to bed, and then filter in some others in between if possible. Now, this one, we didn't used to talk about this at all. This is fairly new. Overnight fasting. So this is really simple to do. Again, tick off if you're doing these tips, and you're probably already doing this. So optimal for a menopausal and beyond woman is around a 12 to a 16-hour fast throughout the night. So anywhere between those two. Now, it doesn't suit me to do a 16-hour because my blood sugars start to drop too rapidly. But a 12-hour one is so doable, and you're already probably doing it. So this would be, for instance, you eat your meal at 6 o'clock in the evening. You don't eat anything until 6 o'clock the next morning. That's doable, isn't it? So I'm actually always doing a 14-hour fast because we always have our dinner at 6, if I can get around to it. And then I eat my breakfast around 8. So that's a good 14-hour fast. Now, within that time, you can drink fruit teas and drink water, but don't have any food. Don't have any milk in your tea and coffee if you're going to have tea and coffee. And just see if you can maintain that kind of overnight fast. It's brilliant for your brain to atrophy, and it's like a restful practice for your digestion system. It's really good for your gut health. It's so many health benefits to that. It's like giving your body a bit of a break from having to work hard with neutralizing foods and all that kind of thing. So it's like a detox. So brilliant if you can do from 12 to 16 hours. Is a perfect thing for a postmenopausal woman. Next one, big topic, might need another talk, but it's sleep. Sleep, rest, sleep again. If we get to the right level of sleep and have a nice deep sleep, remember there's a circadian rhythm, it goes up and down, but generally if you get up in the morning, you feel fairly energized by your sleep, that's a good sign. Don't think about measuring it with your watch, because this can freak you out. Again, you might like doing that. See how you feel. But generally we find that people get a bit freaked out by measuring their sleep all the time. Now, sleep is really great for the brain. Again, at night, if we get to that level of sleep, your brain, it's like a dustbin service, a refuge service coming through and cleaning your brain. It's like cleaning the roads, cleaning out all the dead wood, all the stuff, processing all the information that you've had. So it's really good for memory. Also, sleep is very good for the human growth hormone, which is your youth hormone. So it's good for the skin, it's good for muscle mass, keeping you strong, fit and healthy. So sleep is really important. Now, once we've got all those things, now also in sleep, when you sleep, your liver does the job of fat burning, which in this topic that we're talking about, that's what we want. So the liver is not going to do that unless you sleep properly, unfortunately. So that's, again, it's about the human growth hormone working and helping your body to burn the calories as it should. Now, this is the only negative one. Limit your sugar, your alcohol, and your UPFs are ultra processed foods. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? These are actually toxic, they are poisonous to your body, and it limits the liver's function. So the liver is the place where it has to filter everything out. Also the kidneys do this as well with the blood. So we've got lots of detoxing going on in the system all of the time. Now, because we don't have optimal hormones as we did, we need to be ultra careful with this. Now, alcohol is a poison, so is too much sugar. Liver also changes the sugar into the fat, it stores it into the fat cells, so therefore you become fatter because you've eaten too much sugar. Now, so we really need to make sure that we are sleeping well and we're not having too much alcohol. If you're going to drink alcohol, try and limit it to the weekends, and so that you get a detoxing effect throughout the week and your liver will renew a little bit more. But if you're drinking every night, you might want to reconsider that. Detox skincare. Now, this is really interesting. It's something in the UK we haven't really thought about very much, but in the States, they're hot on this. So it's a detoxification of your skincare. Have a look at your skincare and how many additives and things like processed things they've got in there, chemicals that they've got in there. They put it on, if you put it on your skin, it absorbs through the skin. It is an organ, your skin, and then goes into through the system. So hair dye, I've got that, nail varnish, makeup, try and go for the clean ones. There's loads on the market now. I use the brand Tropic. I use shampoo that's ultra I can't remember the name of it, a brand of it, but I actually go and do the refills at my local farm shop. They do it there, and it's toxic free, paraben free. All of the toxins are taken out of it. So also look into cleaning products that you may use often. I've gone to a new brand called Perdium Fig, which is made out of essential oils. I mean, you can make it yourself if you want to, but this is a really good way of getting all of those toxins away from your environment, because we're already living in a very toxic world in terms of environment, pollution, too much social media, all of that. We could go deep into this, but let's go for the first level, which one that we can achieve is to, next time you buy your toothpaste, go for a toxin-free one. Next time you buy a shampoo, try and keep changing each time. Tropic, Neal's Yard, Simple is in the supermarkets now. That's paraben-free if you're going for a moisturiser. Now, there's the last two. These are 8, 9 and 10 are about fitness. Now, fitness isn't as important as food and all those other things I've just talked about where weight loss is concerned, okay? And now fitness needs to be looked at in a different mode. Fitness should be for your mental health. So number one is walk, because walking is great for mental health. Get out in nature, and there's something to do with the shapes of the trees that trigger something in your mind. And we do know, after my survey for the postmenopausal women and how many symptoms they got in that time, which I was absolutely surprised about, a lot of the mental health, or so many mental health ones that people ticked, that this can really help. Get outside, go for a walk, 20 minutes a day if possible. But at the same time, that will help your hip strength for longevity. But where weight loss is concerned, it's general activity and movement of the body, which is going to win the day, okay? This is not running. We're not going jogging. We're not doing marathons. We don't have to do big high impact cardio exercise sessions anymore. We don't need to do all of that. That will actually stress the body and make it not lose weight. And sometimes people gain weight by having that. Often, if I've been on a long bike ride overdone it, I can feel myself, I've overdone it, that I actually get bloated. I actually feel I feel bloated. So that's my body system going, you're too much for you. So it's a very fine line with where you are with your fitness to start with, but generally just strip it back. In fact, if you are at Mrs. Fitness Guru and you're starting to feel different symptoms, I'd say come off the cardio, get away from the gym, get away from the rowing machine, stop running, and let's just have a couple of weeks off where you walk every day. If weight loss is your goal, that is. This is weight loss goals. And the number 10, which is ultra important also, is lifting any weights. Now, lifting weights is always the one. We talk about that a lot. We're going to do it in a moment, but that's your number 10. So that's your top 10 tips on losing Menobelly in the postmenopausal years. I'd love to hear your comments on what you think of those tips. And if you want to add any more, let me know. Thanks for listening.